Picture this. You're on a plane, right? And you're just surrounded by that constant, deafening roar of the engines. Then you put on your headphones, you flip a little switch, and whoosh, silence. It's not just muffled, the noise is just gone. It honestly feels like magic, but it's not. It's actually one of the most brilliant pieces of engineering you probably use every day.
But here's the really wild part, the thing that sounds completely impossible. These headphones, they aren't just building a soundproof wall around your ears. Nope, they are actively fighting that outside noise by creating more noise inside the headphone. So how in the world do you get silence by adding sound? Let's dive in and figure this out.
Okay, so to understand how we can possibly defeat noise, we first have to really understand the enemy itself. We have to break it down. What is sound, really?
Well, here's the first clue. Sound isn't a thing that travels to your ear. It's actually a wave of energy. Think of it like invisible ripples spreading out in a pond. These are waves of pressure moving through the air, and when they reach you, they make your eardrum vibrate.
And just like a wave on the water, a sound wave has high points and low points. The high point, that's called a peak, and it's where the air is all bunched up and compressed. The low point is the trough, and that's where the air is all stretched out. This shape, this up and down pattern of the wave, is the key to everything.
So if sound is a wave, what's our weapon? Well, it's a really cool, kind of mind-bending idea from physics called destructive interference. This is where we start to fight fire with fire or, noise with anti-noise.
At its very core, the math behind this incredible tech is as simple as it gets. You take a positive number, you add its exact negative opposite, and they cancel each other out. They equal 0. That's it. That simple rule is the entire secret to how we create silence out of thin air. And this is exactly how that simple math applies to sound waves. Your headphones create a perfect mirror image of the incoming noise, but it's completely inverted. We call it an anti-sound wave. They time it perfectly so that the trough, the low point of their anti-sound wave, hits your eardrum at the exact same millisecond as the peak of the real-world noise. And when they meet, they completely annihilate each other. The result is nothing. Silence. But okay, how do they do this so fast? It has to happen in real time, faster than our brains can even notice. Well, it's all part of a super high-speed, 4-step battle plan. It's an incredible race against time. Let's break down how they pull it off. Okay, here's the plan. Step 1, a tiny microphone on the outside of the headphone acts as a scout. It listens to the enemy noise. Step 2, that sound information is sent to the brain, a tiny computer chip that instantly analyzes the wave and creates its perfect opposite. Step 3, the gun, which is just the speaker inside your headphones, fires this new anti-sound wave. And Step 4, annihilation. The two waves meet right at your eardrum and cancel each other out. All of this happens in a tiny fraction of a second.
Now, if you've ever used these headphones, you know they aren't perfect. They don't block out everything. But their weaknesses are actually the biggest clue that understanding how they really work. See, this high-speed battle isn't always won.
And it all comes back to that race against time. Active noise cancellation is amazing against constant, predictable sounds, like the drone of a plane engine or the hum of a fan. The brain can easily predict that repeating wave and create its opposite. But a sudden, sharp noise like a clap, or a complex, irregular sound like someone talking, by the time the scout hears it and the brain analyzes it, the sound is already over. The headphones simply lose the race.
So when you really think about it, your noise-canceling headphones aren't just some passive gadget. They're an active, real-time physics engine. They're constantly listening to the world around you, calculating an opposite reality, and then creating this tiny, perfect bubble of silence right at your ear. It's pretty incredible.
And I think this quote just sums it up perfectly. It really is a high-speed, real-time physics engine fighting this invisible battle that ends in silence. What feels like just flipping a switch is actually this masterpiece of engineering working constantly just so you can have a little peace and quiet. It really makes you wonder what other everyday objects are hiding this level of science, right?